All right, let's talk about scripts. Everybody needs a really good script if they're gonna have an effective sales process. And I'm gonna share a training with you here in a moment that's gonna take you through what I feel are the basic requirements of working with scripts in your business. But here's some overview that I want you to have when it comes to scripts. A lot of times I see people saying, I really need a script, I need a new script, or I need a better script, or there's gotta be some other script out there. And a lot of times I think what they're really saying is, I'm scared to get started in the process of calling leads. So they're like, if I have this new script, this other script, this better script, then I'll feel more comfortable. And really, a lot of times I just see it as an excuse. So what I want to encourage you, and I'll go into this training, is watch this training and get a framework. And at the very end, I'll give you an opportunity to download the #1 script that I use when working with buyer leads. And I use this script for over 10 years and it works amazing. So really just have the mindset that in order to really affect the sales process in a consistent, predictable, scalable way, you have to say the same things or have the same framework every time. If you're always changing your approach, you'll never really know what's working and what's not, and you'll never really have a true understanding of what a good conversion metric is. What I mean by that is, if you talk to 100 people and you get X percentage of them to take the next step, you can really only do that and come to the conclusion of those kinds of numbers when you have a script in place. So watch the training, and at the end, I'll provide you with my very best buyer lead script. Okay, once we get our mindset right about sales, the next component that we're gonna dive into is the scripts. And with scripts, it's really important that you have a framework around each one of your scripts. So what is the goal of the script? Is the goal of the script to build rapport and that's it, to follow up at a later time? Is the goal of the script to set an appointment face to face? Or maybe the goal of the script is to get them to take action and actually do the deal, to perform the sale. So you just need to know there's all kinds of different scripts in the sales process, but what is the goal? And what I like to say is be professional about it. Don't wing it. In our industry especially, I think too many people are just trying to wing it. And while I'm all about, being natural and being off the cuff, there's still a framework that needs to be in place whenever you're dealing with somebody so that you can do an effective job at helping them. And amateurs wing it, professionals do not. Professionals go in there and understand that their scripts are really their tools. And each script is a tool that you have in your arsenal of tools to better serve them, to better help them, and to really help control that process. Because an amateur is just gonna let the buyer or the seller have their own process and get their own result. And they don't offer a lot of value. But a true professional steps in and brings their experience to the table and really helps serve them by leading them along a process that's gonna be more beneficial for them in their buying or selling experience. For example, if I'm working with a seller and that seller maybe has an idea of how they want the process to go to sell their house. And their idea is, well, we're gonna start way up here because you can always come down, but you can never go up. And if I just go along with that and I'm not using scripts and dialogue as tools to better help them understand that that's not going to help them, that's probably gonna hurt them as they acquire more days on the market, then I haven't really served them. And although I'm trying to affect the sales process on them, I'm doing it to their betterment as well, because I want to help them get the most money possible. And starting out way high above market value and working their way down is not going to help them accomplish that. So it's just an example. And always be authentic. Nobody likes a phony. So while I love the idea of a well-crafted script, this script also has to be your own. Nobody likes to be, feel like they have a robot speaking to them and they're just repeating a script that's obviously been written as a script so that they can get through the sales process. Nobody likes that. They can see through that. It's phony. So whenever you have a script, I always encourage my agents, look at that script. Maybe change a specific word here or a specific word there that would be more how you would say it naturally. Say it out loud a few times. Find out where it doesn't feel right, and then come up with your own way of saying the same thing, and you'll be much more authentic and the delivery will feel much more natural. And then always have a call to action. I think a script without a call to action is incomplete. So whatever it may be, like I said in the beginning at the framework stage, maybe you're just trying to build rapport. but there's a certain call to action in that where you're connecting with them. Or if you're trying to set an appointment, are you asking for the appointment? If you're calling and following up with them because it's a database call and you're calling through your database 4 times a year like you should, you can simply do that by picking 2 letters and doing 2 letters a week. But if you're making those calls and you don't have a call to action, you're wasting their time and your time. But if you call them and you're like, hey, can I count on you to pass my name along to anybody that's thinking about buying or selling? And then you be quiet. That's a specific call to action, and that's a script that's gonna work really well for you. People that have specific call to actions in their script will often do twice as much business as people that don't. And I know sometimes it just feels better not to have a call to action. We feel more comfortable, it makes them feel more comfortable, but at the end of the day, like, we're in business to have sales, make money, be profitable, and you need a call to action to do that. So make sure that you have a call to action in all your scripts. And when it comes to training on scripts, I like this idea of developing unconscious competence, because when we get a script initially, it's new to us, we have to kind of work into it, we might have to change a couple of those words to be authentic, but then we have to get to a point where we know that script so well inside and out that we can go from thinking, okay, I have to use this script, okay, I'm gonna go to my brain and I'm gonna share this script with them, to just being automatic. And when you get to that level of unconscious competence, then your scripts really become a part of you and you become an effective salesperson. And then also, I like to use call recording. So in my sales meetings, what we'll do is we'll play back actual sales calls that came in on real estate signs or marketing pieces that we did, and we'll listen to those in a group setting. And I love the idea of doing it in a group setting because nobody really feels like, we were picking on them or like spotlighting them, because we'll pick these calls at random. Some of them are good, some of them are okay, and some of them are really bad. And all of that's good because it provides an invaluable learning opportunity for all of us to critique together. And what we like to do is, it's not just me critiquing them or saying, well, you didn't do this right, or you didn't use that script, or what happened here, why did you answer the phone that way? But it's all of us saying, okay, how did that go? Well, so-and-so didn't do this, and he didn't say that, and she could have said this better. And we critique it together. And the learning opportunities that come out of that are amazing. And what we found is that by doing this and playing these call recordings, that we all got better together. And the adherence to the scripts, when there were certain sign calls coming in, were very, overnight it seemed like we all got better at doing it. And it really helped our sales numbers and the effectiveness that we were having with our different marketing channels. So I really encourage you, get to a point where you can develop an unconscious competence. And one of the ways that you can help your people do that is to train one-on-one. Maybe you're just having an agent that's struggling with some of the scripts. Sit down with them one-on-one, role play it with them, you as the leader, and then set a date to follow back up to make sure that they're doing it and that they can get to that level of proficiency. If they can't, maybe it's just gonna come down to a consequence of them losing a certain lead privilege if they can't, because it's really important that we're not wasting these opportunities. And then, go over the call recording, do that in a public setting. It'll be much more effective than one-on-one where they feel like you're being picked on or pointed out. So I really encourage that. We've seen a lot of great results by doing it that way. So my questions for you are this: what scripts are you currently using? Take an assessment. Maybe it's just one. Maybe you just have one buyer script that you use and nothing else in your business is a script. Or maybe you have 10 different scripts that you go to and you pull out when you need them. But think about that. What scripts are you using in your business? And what is the goal of each one? Make sure that there's a call to action in each one of those scripts. Maybe go back and tweak them a little bit. You can get a lot of positive results and be much more effective with them if you'll make sure that they're aligned properly. And then where could you add scripts to improve your sales process? Think about it. Once you list out all your scripts, do you have all the scripts you need to work with buyers, to work with sellers, to handle objections like, price reductions and buyers taking action when they've looked at tons and tons of properties? So make sure that you have all of them. And then what could you implement in this area to improve your results? What's one thing that's come to mind during this video, during this training, where you feel like, man, I really should go back in and fix this, or I really should make sure I have a call to action here? Figure out what your next best step is when it comes to scripts and do that now. Hey, thanks so much for watching that, and I hope it was beneficial for you in developing your mindset and understanding the idea of having a framework around scripts. I'm gonna give you the opportunity now to go ahead and get my #1 buyer lead script. Use this for over 10 years. All of my agents used it. Of course, like I said in the training, they would make it their own by changing like a word here or word there, but the general framework remained the same. So I hope this works really well for you too. If it does, I'd love to hear your feedback and comments below.